Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. Today we're back at Red River Chevrolet here in Bossier City, Louisiana. And you know what we're doing by the title of the video. Obviously, I don't have to tell you that a second time, but I tell you what, this is really cool. We get to compare the outgoing kind of early part of 2022 version right here of the Chevrolet Silverado with the changed version. The changes, the redesign, kind of a refresh, not a total redesign, but there are some significant changes there. And because I had somebody here on my YouTube channel just recently who had a huge meltdown because they claimed that this truck that I was doing was not a 22. I don't know how well you can see that right there, but just so you can see, there it is on the sticker right there, 2022 right there. Just so you know, that way nobody has a big fit complaining and saying, oh, it's not a 2022. They do that all the time. They kind of get a strange accent when they do that, right? Okay, so let's get down to business. Let's talk about what's different here. And it's pretty easy to see. All I have to do is pretty much just stand right here. You can see that the front bumper on the 2022, kind of the newer version, we'll say, without the change, or with the changes, the bumper has a completely different design. It's actually a little bit smaller. You've got a lot more chrome here on the other Silverado, the outgoing version. And obviously there are some other changes. You can see the change here with the fact that the blinker is, instead of being down here on the bottom, is going to be where the daytime running lights are right here. So that is a big difference. I think that looks really good. It actually gives those turn signals a little bit more of a larger presence. That's why you want to make sure you use your blinkers when you're driving down the road, folks. Come on, it's not that hard. And then obviously further down, you're going to see differences on the lower portion of the bumper as well, noticing the fact that everything's, well, a little bit lower. It looks a little bit wider than it did in the past. Just kind of that look I think that it's supposed to have with that look of the lower stance. Just makes it look a little more aggressive. Very simple to see, I think, from this angle. But obviously there are other changes here as well. We've got a chrome strip here on the top portion of the grille that we didn't have on the earlier version here before these changes came in. In fact, you'll notice that the whole grille has been redesigned. It has a different look. It has a different layout. I think that looks a little bit better. Honestly, the bow tie is going to be higher up here compared to what we see, and larger. Notice the difference there. Let's kind of see if we can give a good comparison of what's here. That one, I'll put my hand next to this one just so you can see, and then we'll go over here and give a good comparison as well. So overall, a very nice look. It looks a little more modern. I don't know. That's what I think. Tell me down in the comments what you think the biggest changes are going to be on the interior. Let's take a look at what they are. Okay, looking in through the driver's side door, this is obviously not going to be where you're going to see the changes, but I just wanted to give you a quick look here at the outgoing trim, the outgoing design, I should say. We're going to see differences here all across the dashboard, really, as far as the way everything is laid out, the size of the screens. You've got really one large digital screen right here now, and obviously a much larger screen for the center touchscreen. 13.4 inches, 13.2 inches is what we'll see when we get there. Now, one thing that I do like, and I'm sure a lot of you will too, is that you have the option here to move the center console up and out of the way. Let's see if I can do that here one-handed. There we go. Just like that in this truck. The other truck does the same thing. But let's take a look at the differences between this interior and this interior. And obviously there are a couple of changes here. If you had seat memory on this truck, it would be right here. It would have been right down here previously. But the big difference I talked about here, here's one of the differences. You noticed on the other truck that the headlight controls and the mode selector were a little bit higher up, and we're obviously, you know, we had the headlight selector right here, the light controls right here, and the mode selector up here. And then all across, you can see the big difference on the dashboard, the overall layout. It definitely looks a lot more modern. Now, there are some things that obviously are going to carry over. One thing that won't, check out the graphics. That is something we did not see in the last few years. I think Chevrolet has done a really good job with that, just kind of to give it that added effect, a little bit of an added bonus for owners and passengers, driver and passengers. And like I said, let me just do this real fast before we hit the start button. Well, there we go. You still have that option for something that's very rare in this day and age, which is 6 seats within the interior of the truck. So that is really cool. And there is what the updated dashboard is going to look like here, or does look like, right? Now, interesting thing is that the truck won't go into gear until I put my seatbelt on. And I'm sure there's a way within the infotainment system to change that if you want to. I haven't dug around to find out about that, but I'm sure it's there for those of you who may want to know. And we'll just go through a few things here. We'll just go through some of the settings, some of the information that you can look through here to see what you have going on with your Silverado. Oil life, there's driver assistance. There is so much here. I'm not going to go through every single little thing. We almost could do a video that's nothing but this information. Tell me down in the comments if you would like to see a video that is nothing but technology. The infotainment screen, the instrument cluster right here, the digital display. It just doesn't seem right to say instrument cluster anymore because it's too modern for that. I don't know. That's just my thought on the process of what they've changed here. But obviously a very modern look all the way through. You're going to have storage up here, which isn't a lot. That would be kind of nice to see that be a little bit bigger possibly, but you know, it is what it is for now. But here's what I really like. A very modern look, and unfortunately I don't think we're going to be able to get the look that I want here without a message coming up. Yep, there it is. And I could get rid of that, but I'm not going to do it, even though we could go to settings and deal with that. But you know what? I'm not going to do that for now. But obviously you've got Google integration here to help things out. Let's see if we can get out of there. There we go. But I will show you what it looks like when it comes to using the functionality within the screen for your trailers, adding a trailer, using a guest trailer, all that good stuff. All that used to be across the top of the screen in previous versions of the Silverado. So that has changed also, giving it a little bit more modern look and feel. Now, I don't have a phone paired. Maybe I should pair my phone and then we could be good with that. But I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. I just mainly want to show you what is here. Obviously, well, some of this is pretty easy to figure out, but the thing I really like here is that even though I can go into reverse and you can see all of the different cameras, I don't want to have to hold my foot on the brake pedal. So what I'm going to do is just go right here. There was a time when you had to be in reverse to be able to see your multiple camera views. The reason I was able to get a really nice tight shot with these two trucks kind of parked nose to nose, well, you can see it right here with the overhead camera. That is really nice. Let's take a look at exactly what all we have here as far as the multiple camera views. You know, I realize that you really shouldn't have to have all these different views, but for people that maybe aren't used to driving a truck this large, or whatever the case is, well, you know, this can be mighty helpful, especially if you're in a tight parking situation and you're wondering, well, what's over on the right-hand side of the truck over there? Am I going to hit something? Well, I did that one time many years ago and did a lot of damage to the truck I owned at the time because I didn't realize there was a concrete pillar that was over there that didn't have a sign in it. It normally would have, but it wasn't, so I wasn't able to see it, just wasn't paying attention ultimately. But a situation like this, well, I could have avoided that with this technology. So that looks really good. And then obviously, if you want to go back home, let's just say you're on a screen and you're wondering, well, how do I get back home? You don't see that, or just kind of getting used to the system. Just remember, you have your fail-safe right here. You can hit that button. That's going to take you right back. And speaking of that, here are some more of the changes. The overall layout of the entire dashboard has changed. You've got your button here for controlling the functionality of the radio. With volume, you can turn that on or off. And all of your one-touch features right here for lane departure, auto start, stop feature that I always like to turn off. Your power tailgate back there. Yeah, I probably don't have to tell you everything that's there. We won't go through all of that. And this little section right here, tell me what you think about that. It just kind of gives it a little bit more depth, it looks like to me. What do you think? Do you like that? Do you not? Indifferent? I don't know. Kind of cool though. I like the fact right here that it's driver focused in the respect of the fact that the button to turn the engine on and off is pointed towards the driver. That's really more driver focus. I like that. and you'll see change here obviously with the way everything's laid out for controlling the air conditioning, also your seats, heated and ventilated seats, all that good stuff if your truck has that, and that's where it would be. So quite a bit going on there. Those are really the biggest changes overall, and obviously depending on the trim level will determine what is and is not here. And of course you do have that upper glove box right there. Almost said upper console. That's not the upper console. And if you're wondering how I did that, well, you might, I don't know if I showed that earlier, but there you go. There's how you do that. Pretty easy to figure out. But overall, a really nice look to this truck. So tell me down in the comments what you think. Did Chevrolet do a good job with the changes they have made here? We'll just take a quick look into the rest of the interior. This truck has not officially been checked into inventory, so just so you know, I'm kind of trying to be careful with the time on the truck today. But we'll see if we can get this one back maybe in the morning and see what happens. Now, something else I do like to point this out, just so you know, but right here, that's the child safety locks. Right now it's not activated. If you get in there and you're just checking out the back seat, make sure it's not in the down position right there, because you may lock yourself in if both doors have that activated. Kind of interesting to see. That's something that has not changed, but just so you know what's there. So, gotta say a special thanks to Diane, the Corvette lady. She was kind enough to get me the keys to both of these trucks so I could show all of you what is new for 2022 as we get more and more of these in here at Red River Chevrolet and other dealerships that I go to. Well, we will definitely show you what's going on with other trim levels and all the changes. But tell me down in the comments what you think. Are you happy? Do you see other things you wish that had been changed? What would you like to see change in the future? I always like to get your feedback. So thanks for taking the time to watch, guys. I always appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out another of the videos that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.